Today in our 2015 Chevrolet Impala, we're going to review and install the CURT Class 2 1 1/4 inch receiver tube hitch, part number C12115. Now here's what our hitch is going to look like once it's installed. The main body of the hitch is tucked up nicely up underneath the vehicle. We've got our square cross tube. It's got a fully welded design and a nice black powder coated finish. We have a chain hold down on each side of our receiver tube. And this is a Class 2 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch receiver tube that's capable of up to 350 pounds of tongue weight and a 3,500 pound tow capacity. Next, we'll go ahead and show you the minimum tools required for installing this hitch. We've got a 13mm socket, 3/4 inch socket, ratchet for each socket, and a torque wrench. Next, we'll go ahead and give you a couple measurements to assist you with selecting accessories for your new hitch. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of the bumper is 4.5 inches. From the top of the receiver tube opening down to the ground is approximately 11.5 inches. This will assist you with selecting accessories such as a ball mount, bike rack, or cargo carrier. We'll now go ahead with the installation. Now to begin our install, our first step is going to be removing one of the manufacturer's exhaust hanger bolts. Alright, now with the fastener out, we'll go ahead and set it aside as it will not be reinstalled, and repeat the same process on the driver's side. Next, we need to trim the rear lower fascia. We need to trim it back enough to allow for the hitch receiver tube to sit right behind the body lip. For this application, some of the trimming's already been done, but if you take your tape measure and hook it to the corner, you're going to measure over approximately 1.5 inches. Make a mark and draw a straight line down the body lip where the fascia will need to be trimmed. A utility knife can be used, but the plastic's pretty thick and tough to get through, so I recommend using a rotary tool. There, now once we have it trimmed out, all the fascia is to the rear of the body lip and where our hitch cross tube will sit. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the driver's side. Next, we're going to put our receiver cross tube into place. This receiver cross tube will fit over top of the manufacturer's weld nut where we removed the manufacturer's exhaust hanger bolt. Once the hitch is in place, we'll then secure it with an 8mm bolt and conical tooth washer. The teeth of the washer will face the hitch as it will go through the hitch, into the weld nut, through the exhaust hanger, and get secured with an additional nut on the other side. Now it's a good idea to get an extra set of hands to help you hold the hitch while you install these fasteners. Now as we install our fasteners, we'll just install them finger tight at this time. Next, we'll install the forward bracket. The forward bracket is going to attach to the rear axle. Now our forward bracket is going to have 3 pre-drilled holes. The 2 pre-drilled holes will go down. The single pre-drilled hole will go to the frame. It'll get secured to the frame using a 1/2 inch bolt and split lock washer going through the bracket into the frame, and then get secured in the frame with a handle nut. Let's go ahead and put it in place. And again, we'll just install our fasteners finger tight at this time. Next, we'll install our hardware here in the cross tube for the center section. For this application, we'll be using the rear 4 holes that are already in the cross tube. We use the 1/2 inch carriage bolts that'll come down through the cross tube, then go through the center section and get secured with a 1/2 inch flange nut. Let's go ahead and put all 4 carriage bolts in place and then raise the center section into position. Now with the carriage bolts in place, let's go ahead and install the center section. And next, we'll install our hardware for the center section to forward bracket. Here at our forward bracket, we'll line the center section up with the pre-drilled hole. Use our 1/2-inch bolt and split lock washer. Going down through the two, and then install our flange nut. Now with all our hardware in place, we'll go ahead and tighten it down and torque to specifications as indicated in instructions. Quick tech tip, we recommend to go ahead and trim the handle nut so it's not sticking out. You can possibly catch dirt, debris as you're traveling down the road. To trim the handle nut, you could use a pair of side cutters, a cutoff wheel, or we're just going to use a pair of tin snips. Gets that extra piece cut off and out of the way. Now with everything installed, tightened down, and torqued to specifications, we're ready to hit the road. And that'll do it for the review and install of the CURT Class 2 1 1/4 receiver tube hitch, part number C12115 on our 2015 Chevrolet Impala.